Most people believe they understand money. You go to school, you get a job, you earn a salary, you save a little, maybe invest, and one day you hope to be financially free. But what if I told you that everything you've been taught about money is only a small part of the truth? Because the financial system you live in is not designed to make you rich. It's designed to keep you working. Let me explain. From a very young age, you are taught one simple rule. Work hard, and you will be rewarded. So you follow the path. You study. You graduate. You get a job. And for the first time in your life, you start earning money. At that moment, it feels like freedom. But look closer. Every month, money comes in, and almost immediately, it goes out. Rent, food, bills, loans, subscriptions. You are earning, but you are also spending just as fast. And slowly, without realizing it, you enter a cycle. A cycle where you trade your time for money, and then give that money back into the system. Now here's the interesting part. Most people think this cycle is normal, but very few stop and ask, who designed this system? And more importantly, who benefits the most from it? Let's take a step back. Imagine the financial system as a game. In this game, there are rules, there are players, and there are levels. But the problem is, most people are playing the game without ever learning the rules. For example, you've probably heard the advice, save your money. It sounds logical, but here's what most people don't realize. Every year, your money loses value. This is called inflation. Let's say you save $1,000 today. Next year, that same $1,000 will buy less. Not because you spent it, but because the system changed its value. So even when you think you are being responsible, you are slowly losing purchasing power. Now you might ask, why does this happen? Why does money lose value over time? The answer lies in how money is created. Most people believe money is limited, but in reality, money is constantly being printed. When new money enters the system, the value of existing money decreases. It's like adding more water to a glass of juice. The more water you add, the weaker the flavor becomes. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When new money is created, it doesn't go to everyone equally. It enters through specific channels. Banks, governments. They receive the money first. They use it, invest it, grow it. And only later, it reaches the general public. By that time, prices have already increased, which means the people at the top benefit the most, and everyone else pays the cost. Now, let's talk about debt, because this is one of the most powerful tools. In the entire financial system, most people are taught that debt is normal. You take a loan for education, a loan for a house, a loan for a car, and slowly, you build a life around repayments. Month after month, year after year, a portion of your income is already committed before you even receive it. Think about that for a moment. You're working today to pay for decisions you made in the past. And this creates something very powerful, dependence. Because once you have obligations, you can't just stop working. You can't take big risks. You can't easily walk away. The system now has control over your time. But here's the part most people never realize. The financial system doesn't force you into this cycle. It conditions you into it through habits, through beliefs, through expectations. For example, have you ever noticed how society defines success? A good job, a stable income, a nice house, a new car. These things are not bad, but they often come with a hidden cost, long-term financial commitment. And once you commit, you have to keep earning. This is how the system sustains itself, not through force, but through predictable behavior. Now, let me give you an analogy. Imagine a hamster running on a wheel. The hamster is moving constantly. It feels like progress, but in reality, it's staying in the same place. For many people, that's exactly what financial life looks like. Working harder, earning more, but also spending more, owing more, and staying in the same cycle. So the question becomes, how do you step out of this? How do you stop playing the game blindly and start understanding it? The first step is awareness. You need to see the system for what it is. Not good or bad, but structured. Once you understand that money loses value, you stop relying only on saving. Once you understand how debt works, you become more intentional with it. Once you understand the flow of money, you start thinking differently. The second step is shifting your perspective. Instead of asking, "How can I earn more money?" you start asking, "How does money actually work?" Because earning is only one part of the equation. Understanding is what changes everything. Let's look at two people. Person A works harder every year, gets promotions, earns more money, but also increases expenses. Bigger house, better lifestyle. At the end, they're still dependent on their income. Person B focuses on understanding the system. They learn how money flows. They invest. They think long-term. At first, progress is slow, but over time, their money starts working for them. Both people earn, but only one understands. And that makes all the difference. Now here's something important. The goal is not to fight the system, because the system is not going away. The goal is to learn the rules and use them to your advantage. Think of it like a game again. If you don't know the rules, you lose. If you learn the rules, you have a chance to win. And winning doesn't necessarily mean becoming extremely rich. It means gaining control. Control over your time, your decisions, your life. Because at the end of the day, money is not just about numbers. It's about freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to say no. Freedom to live on your own terms. But that freedom doesn't come from blindly following the system. It comes from understanding it. So next time you think about money, don't just think about how much you earn. Think about where your money goes, how its value changes, who benefits from your decisions. Because the moment you start asking these questions, you stop being just a participant, and you become a player who understands the game. And once that happens, everything begins to change.